Hello there.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is trial day, and I am dressed for the occasion, as you can see. Now, it may not look like to the court that I'm dressed for the occasion, but I got two reasons for that. One, it is a 34-degree day, and the other one, Dwayne Johnson can send his message to the court for me, because...
It doesn't matter what you think!
Exactly! We are up to episode 5 of season 3 of Better Call Saul, and judging by the trajectory of the last episode, I am hoping that the trial is this episode. Otherwise, I'm going to look like a complete fool, because this episode today is titled Chicanery, and yes, we left on a good note. We left on a potential high note with Jimmy and Kim sorting something out that's going to go in their favor at the hearing, but you never know with this show. You never know what twists and turns are going to unravel. You don't know what Howard and Chuck have planned and what they have and what they're willing to go to counteract these plans that Jimmy and Kim may have. But at the same time, I don't know what length Jimmy and Kim are going to go at to counteract those plans that are counteracting the plans. But yeah, I am so hyped up for this episode today. Last episode, Soprosito was absolutely fantastic. Let's get into the reaction. Smash this thing. My name is Elie Moses, a 23-year-old law and film student from Sydney, Australia. Shooting is shot. And yeah, let's smash this reaction. Let's go. Also, I found out that 79% of the viewers watching this are getting it from YouTube recommendations. So that means you guys are not subscribed. What? Come on. If you enjoy it, feel free to subscribe. Flashback scene. Yeah.
Found the phone.
Tell the flashback scenes have this distinct
It looks like it's from
blue
1967, but I think
color
more.
grade to them, like this light blue hue and highlight to them.
Excellent. Thank you for being so careful.
Sir? We have to get in your attic.
For what?
Oh, the hookup.
Oh, no, that's all right. Don't bother.
It won't take 20 minutes. Plus, you really can't use it if I don't do it.
No, it's all right. We're not gonna. When you're done here, would you get some more lamps in the garage? Thanks.
Rebecca,
Chuck.
you look lovely.
Oh, it's so good to see you.
Hey, what's with the candles? Why are you sitting here in the dark?
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing.
Oh, my God, the afternoon I've had. 2 hours ago, I take the sea bass out. No sooner is it prepped and resting than, boom, power goes down. I get on the phone to the city. To make a long story short, those bozos at PNM mixed up my payment. The deadbeat at 512 San Cristobal hasn't been paying his bills. And of course, I'm 215. Exactly. They say they'll have it on again by tomorrow. In the meantime, I borrowed some camping gear from my neighbors, hence the rustic flair.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So what do? Get out of here and go to a restaurant? We could hit Seasons, your treat.
We could, yeah. But, dinner's almost ready. And the fish, I would have just had to throw it out. All I have to do is toss it in a pan. How about we just rough it? Huh? You okay with that?
Well, why not? It'll be fun. We'll do an haute cuisine campout.
Great. Then it's settled. Let me take that. Take your...
Oh, yeah, here. Oh, thank you.
Okay, I just want to say something quickly. I love the progression from the episode of Rebecca to them awaiting Saul's arrival. Jimmy's arrival. To this episode where Chuck is completely alone in his household. It's obviously post his condition. And yeah, this time he's awaiting the arrival of Jimmy and Rebecca together. And obviously he's not wearing the wedding ring and they were prepping for her arrival. Now, my initial thought, I was like, no, don't tell me Jimmy slept with Rebecca. But I was like, nah. It ain't that evil. Unless it is. But like, nah. I don't think so. But it seems like maybe they're trying to mend the relationship. Or he's trying to show Rebecca how he's living with the condition. And that they can do it potentially together. But we'll see.
Oh, my God. I can't eat another bite.
Here.
No, Jimmy. You
Well,
don't have
the least
to.
I can do is the dishes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jimmy. This turned out better than I thought. I'm so sorry about the lights.
Oh, it's nice. Atmospheric. I mean, over Jimmy being a lawyer.
Neither can I. He's got his own shingle out and everything.
I mean, a real responsible citizen. I mean, who would have thought? Well, it's a lot of hotels. Yeah. I mean, in Budapest, I think I saw mostly the inside of the concert hall and the Marriott. But, you know, I shouldn't complain.
That's right.
You're
She's a
not
violinist, I think.
You're observing.
From memory.
To make ourselves feel better?
You said we'll never finish this.
And then we did.
Okay, there's a little bit of chemistry still there.
After Asia, any plans for a stateside tour?
Oh, you know, hopefully next year, you know, maybe a residency. Oh, that would be sweet. I mean, you know, I like the buses and trains and planes fine, but I miss having one place to hang my hat.
Oh, she brought her phone inside. Ah, she didn't leave it in the mailbox.
I hate that thing. I feel like I'm on a leash. Oh. Hi, Andre. No, I'm just at dinner. What's up? Oh, I can do that at rehearsal. Yeah, no problem. Yeah.
Clearly,
No,
this
I
is
know
very
that they're
early
coming
on in
in
those
late on
stages where
16.
Chuck couldn't resist even the slightest
Got it.
magnetic
I will make sure that,
radiation.
Can you hold on a second? Let me just get a pen. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, yeah, hold on one second. Yeah, we can do it.
I love how that
whenever
slight
you-
eerie noise, like that earring,
Okay.
starts to draw
All right,
in
sure.
and fade out as she walks away, and then fade back in as she comes closer.
Chuck.
All right.
Well, do you want me to rehearse the cello stuff?
She keeps coming.
Rebecca.
Well, no, it's not just him, it's the whole section.
Rebecca.
No, that's fine. Yeah. What the hell? Andre? I'll have to call you back. I'm sorry. What is your problem?
Say something. You gotta do something. You can't let her leave like this. Just tell her what's going on.
No.
She'll understand. Would you rather she think you're a raging prick than know the truth?
No.
Look, if you won't tell her, then I will.
No. You will not tell her. You will not tell her.
Right.
Hi, Andre. Yes, I'm sorry about that. I dropped the phone.
Hey, that's straight out of Finding Nemo. Darla!
Jesus, what are you doing, man? There's barely any oxygen in that bag. You're suffocating her.
Her?
Yeah, just because you don't see swinging dicks doesn't mean you can't tell a boy fish from a girl fish.
Oh, yeah, see, now I can see the lipstick.
This is a living creature. It's not a piece of furniture. So after this, you take her home, you put her in a big bowl, at least a gallon. Get a good bubbler, maybe a placostomus, and don't feed her too much. People get fat. Fish, they drown in leftover food.
All right, already, Jacques Cousteau.
That's why my fish died when I was young. I fed him too much.
Highly skilled, high-end, discreet, real pro.
You gotta fit him in a tight space?
I don't think so.
I got just the guy then.
Wait. When he said you gotta fit him in a tight space, don't tell me it's Hugh. Is that Hugh?
Yeah, that's what happened. Just a bad swing. But I hope it's going to get better. That's why I say golfing is a contact sport. Great job, Mr. McLaren. Very refreshing. Believe me, we're happy to get this one off the docket.
Not as happy as we are.
Again, great job.
Thank you, sir.
That's Mesa Verde sorted. Thank you.
Ladies, dinner's on me.
Kim, I knew you were good, but I didn't know you were this good.
That's my girl, man.
We couldn't have done it without you, and I hope you realize this means a whole lot of work coming your way.
Oh, that's...
Okay, we're not
great.
done for Mesa Verde. We're still doing stuff for them, but
Well, you don't sound like it's great.
Charles contends that Jimmy took the documents pertaining to the Rosella branch, and while Charles was indisposed, photocopied and doctored them.
That's pretty Baroque.
that's a big
The
word.
important
I don't even know what
thing
that.
here is I
Wait,
think it could make some noise in public.
Baroque. Far out. That's a big turn page. Chill, man. Baroque. It's a period, though. Oh, irregularly shaped. Okay. Sorry, I'm just too hyped today.
Soon. I wanted to tell you this in the spirit of full disclosure. I thought it was better if you heard it from me. If you have any reservations at this point, or if you are not comfortable staying with me, we can discuss options.
That's a big call, but at least she's got it out of her chest.
I cannot abide is a man who won't own up to his mistakes. Now, whatever mud McGill is slinging, he's not going to screw me out of the best outside counsel I've ever had.
My guy, my G. Even though we know it's true, my G.
I'm so glad to hear that.
We appreciate the heads up, but you can call this baby put to bed. Now, the most important thing, dinner.
Works for me.
Man's thinking about his stomach.
Strategy. We move on to Colorado or Utah first. See you at 7.
Hey, shout out to the Mesa Verde
This
gang.
McGill thing, you're sure it's not going to be a problem?
I am. Mesa Verde isn't involved in any way, shape, or form.
You don't know that, but
Good. Then I'll see you tonight.
Okay, great. See you then.
man, y'all three could be having dinner, and then Mesa Verde will come out of nowhere. You'll get a tweet notification on your phone saying, Mesa Verde involved in fraudery and what? Why is it?
This is it.
The exit signs in Australia are green and white.
Collect all cell phones and hold them for the duration of your testimony.
The court reporter, would it be possible to move him or her farther from the witness stand?
Yeah, I think we can arrange having them in the back of the court.
But one of my jobs is to safeguard the firm's reputation.
This is not the time to worry about how we look. This is about what's right and what's wrong. I'm not going to risk Jimmy getting, what, a year's suspension? Maybe 2? He deserves disbarment, not some slap on the wrist. Howard, there's only one way forward. Let justice be done, though the heavens fall.
When you do think about it, doing that warrants disbarment. I don't care what anyone says to protect Jimmy. That's straight disbarment, what he did. Like, it's a crime. Like,
Good morning. I'm Robert Alley for the State Bar. In the matter of James M. McGill, the State Bar intends to prove the following violations of the Ethical Code. 16-102, engaging in conduct the lawyer knows is criminal. Mr. McGill certainly knew that breaking down his brother's door was criminal behavior. The State Bar believes that once we have presented the facts, the committee will agree that disbarment is warranted for James McGill. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Riley. Ms. Wexler?
here we go.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning. I'm Kim Wexler, co-counsel with James McGill for the defense.
Before Kim goes in on this, I just want to say quickly, I know you guys are probably frustrated that I paused, but I just want to say I love the choice to have the guy providing the introductory notes to the Council of Judges, whilst having the editing of them getting up in the morning, doing their routine and sort of like rehearsing and going over what they're going to say and preparing for the hearing. Even though you couldn't hear what dialogue they're going through, I just like really enjoyed the facial expressions on Jimmy and Kim's faces right there, because it showed a lot. It told a story in itself. I felt like just how, a bit nervous and anxious they were preparing for this, and then you had the badass, obviously, duet walk over the stairs and then walking past the camera. I just really enjoyed that choice right there.
You've already read Mr. McGill's pre-prosecution statement. We don't dispute he broke into his brother's house, an act he regrets deeply. But there is another side to this story, one not about calculation or ill intent, but about 2 brothers whose relationship, after years of strain, finally broke. We believe that after you have the complete picture, you'll understand James McGill is an asset to our legal community, and he should remain a full member of it in good standing. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Wexler.
You're so hot.
Everyone's ready to begin testimony?
He and I were concerned that Jimmy might strike his brother. So that's when we stepped in.
Thank you, Mr. Hamlin.
Certainly.
Nothing further at this time.
Ms. Wexler?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You testified you've known my client for some time. How long exactly?
Nearly 10 years.
This is why I feel like she's gonna delve deep into the relationship, the past, and everything. They're gonna dig up the past, and Kim talked about, you know, providing the whole picture of the relationship. And I think, you know, Jimmy supporting Chuck all those years as well during his condition might be brought up, and how much he did, and that's why he's an asset to the legal community. It doesn't obviously exonerate Jimmy for what he's done, and, you know, we call it Saul's antics, and it's so entertaining to see that stuff. Obviously, we're in the legal world right now. There's rights and wrongs, and Jimmy has done multiple things that are very wrong, and I'm not gonna side by him because I'm biased for Saul, but like, yeah.
His brother asked to hire him in the mailroom at our firm.
And you did?
Yes.
What was your opinion of him then?
I thought
there was potential.
He had a lot of get up and go. He was a hard worker.
You had a nickname for him, didn't you?
Charlie Hustle.
Charlie Hustle.
Cap!
How'd you feel when you found out he'd become a lawyer?
Surprised. He'd put himself through law school and taken the bar exam without telling any of the partners, even Charles.
He bootstrapped his way into a law degree while working in your mailroom. Did you consider taking him on as an associate?
We did. Briefly.
Sounds like you didn't hire him. Why not? With that kind of grit?
The partners decided it would be best to avoid the appearance of nepotism.
Cap!
We felt hiring Jimmy might damage morale.
I love how the receptionist is in the background as well.
Your firm is Hamlin, and McGill, right? Who's the other Hamlin?
My father.
My father.
Darth Vader.
Which partner was the most concerned with nepotism?
Charles McGill.
So Jimmy's own brother blocked him.
Objection. How are the hiring practices of Hamlin, McGill relevant here?
It's relevant to understand the relationship between these brothers.
The full picture. Thank you. Thank you.
We'll give you some leeway, Miss Wexler, but don't stray too far. Charles McGill is not the subject of this hearing.
Thank you. When Charles's condition appeared, Jimmy took care of him, didn't he?
I believe so.
Jimmy was struggling to build his solo law practice, and yet every single day, without fail, he brought his brother food, supplies, even his favorite newspapers. Isn't that right?
Thank you.
He did.
Could you speak to the terms of Charles's leave of absence?
You know I can't. It was an FMLA leave. Anything more is confidential.
But you can confirm it was due to mental illness, correct?
Objection. Charles McGill's mental health isn't at issue. This is a smear job on the State Bar's upcoming witness, nothing more.
This is not a competency hearing, Ms. Wexler.
Mr. Hamlin is not a psychiatric professional. Do you have any questions that would be more germane to his experience?
No. I have nothing further.
The witness is excused.
Yo, she put Howard in the firing line right there. Oh, they're waiting for a witness to show up. It's got to be Rebecca.
The State Bar would like to enter Exhibit 5 into evidence. We ask that Charles McGill's recording be played.
I'm respectfully renewing my objection. The probative value of playing this exhibit is outweighed by how prejudicial it is.
All due respect to Ms. Wexler, but the State Bar feels this is fundamental to hear. We don't want to leave any question as to the intentions of both parties.
Ms. Wexler, we already ruled this was fair game when we denied your motion to suppress.
I'll add the rough and tumble of your client's conduct aside. We need to know whether one lawyer attempted to tamper with another's evidence.
Look at that smirk on the State Bar. Oh, man. Hold on to your butts.
Thank you for your patience. The State Bar is ready to proceed.
Begging your pardon, the defense requests a moment to review, if we could.
All right.
Stall.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. What are we doing?
Yes. Yes, my brother has many admirable qualities.
He's rehearsing,
In
isn't
some
he?
ways, I can say I admire him.
Yeah.
Too cold.
Man, it's like they're rehearsing, like they're reviewing nothing. Like, yeah, blah, 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 blah.
I love my brother. But Ted Kaczynski's brother loved him too, and he wanted to help. And sanctimonious.
I think it says so much
I
about
love my brother. He's a good person. He has good in him.
Chuck rehearsing this in the darkness of his
law
home.
is too important.
You right there, Howard?
You'd go to such lengths to humiliate me.
I did it for Kim. She worked her butt off to get Mesa Verde while you and Howard sat around sipping scotch and chortling. Hamlin, McGill, more like Scrooge and Marley. Kim deserves Mesa Verde, not you, not HHM. She earned it, and she needs it.
That looks bad on Kim as well.
But I honestly didn't think it would hurt you so bad. I thought you'd just say, oh crap, I made a mistake, and go on with your life like a normal person. But oh no, wishful thinking. So can I tell Howard you're not quitting or retiring or whatever?
How are they gonna get?
Take all the shit down off the walls.
How are they gonna get past this? I'm so curious.
Call Howard. Jimmy, you do realize you just confessed to a felony?
I guess. But you feel better, right? Besides, it's your word against mine.
He could say it and just say, you know, I didn't mean it at the time. I just did it to make him feel better. That clock was a real asset. It is you.
Excuse me. Sorry.
It is you. To perfection. My God, what's up?
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
I can't. I'm sorry. Do you guys know the NWA song where it's like, do you swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth to help your black ass? Yeah, goddamn right. I forgot what song it was. Oh. Was it F the Police or was it Express? Oh, I can't remember what song. I just always think about that. I don't know why.
Could you state your name?
Charles L. McGill. I'm a senior partner at the law firm of Hamlin McGill. Can the court reporter hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you fine.
Mr. McGill, I'll try to be brief. We don't need to dwell on the burglary or the assault that you suffered.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
What I would like to hear about is this tape. What compelled you to make it?
I had a suspicion my brother had tampered with documents in a case I was working on.
Now, why would he do that? Doesn't sound particularly brotherly.
I believe it was his hope that the tainted documents would cause the client to become disillusioned with my representation.
Did you have any evidence to support your suspicions about James?
No. My brother, whatever else can be said of him, can be quite clever. Did an excellent job of covering his tracks.
Objection. The witness has admitted there's no corroborating evidence this supposed crime even occurred.
I'd like to hear what he has to say.
We're going to continue. It will extend you the same latitude on cross, Miss Wexler.
Hopefully.
Go on, Mr. McGill.
Without physical evidence, I felt that a recorded confession, if I could get one, was my best bet. On its own, I knew the tape would be somewhat flimsy, but it was a start, a foundation for a more ironclad case.
And at the time, would you say that you were in possession of your faculties? All due respect, but but you do sound somewhat unhinged on the recording.
Yes, I understand that. But what you heard was theater, a performance, play acting. I exaggerated the symptoms of my disease to extract the truth.
Can we talk about your disease for a moment? I'd like everybody here to be on the same page about it.
Of course. It is sometimes referred to as EHS, electromagnetic hypersensitivity. I describe it as an acute allergy to electromagnetism.
You describe it, not an expert.
It's not a common condition, is it?
I know it sounds strange, I do. But 30 years ago, no one had heard of peanut allergies.
But you admit that no doctor has ever diagnosed you.
AIDS was not identified properly until 1981. HIV wasn't known as the cause until 83. These things take time to unravel, even for doctors.
Would you say that your illness affects your ability to think clearly?
No, it affects me physically. It causes me great pain. However, I'm perfectly lucid.
Thank you. Mr. McGill, I have only one more question for you. Do you hate your brother?
Absolutely not.
Here comes the performance.
I love my brother. There's nothing malicious in Jimmy. He has a way of doing the worst things for reasons that sound almost noble. But what I know for sure is that the law is too important to be toyed with. It's mankind's greatest achievement. The rule of law, the idea that no matter who you are, your actions have consequences. And the way my brother treats the law.
That's one of the first things they taught us in Foundations of Law.
That's why I did what I did. Not to hurt him, but to protect something that I hold sacred.
Thank you, Mr. McGill. The State Bar rests.
I'm sorry, my co-counsel and I need a moment to confer.
Please be brief, Counselor.
Yes, of course.
Stalling again. Bring her in, baby. Bring her in. The power play. The ace up the sleeve. Rattled. Oh, shit.
Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry. Might I have a moment to get a breath?
Oh, of course, Mr. McGill. Folks, let's call this 15. Everybody please be back and ready to go on the hour.
Is that what Jimmy told you?
He's worried about you, Chuck. In spite of everything that's happened between the two of you, he cares.
What exactly did he say?
Well, that you had been sick, allergic to electricity. He sent me pictures of the house. Chuck, my God.
That's what the...
Why didn't you tell me?
I didn't want to upset you, to worry you unnecessarily. But now you're here, and now you know.
It's just not what I expected.
Yeah, what'd you expect?
I don't know, just not her.
There was a degree of discomfort, that's true.
And where did you hide it? I mean, the sound's pretty clear, so it wasn't in the couch cushions, was it?
Tucked under a space blanket, out of sight.
So there's no chance I would see it. Not with the state your place was in, isn't that right?
I suppose.
Would you like to set the scene for the disciplinary committee? Tell them, you know, what your house looked like at the time of the recording.
Objection. Relevance?
Yes.
Well, the circumstances of the recording are materially relevant. How can you know what the tape really means unless you know what was going on when it was recorded?
Overruled. The witness could answer the question.
I covered most of the walls with foil scrim craft insulation. I also hung a number of space blankets.
Paint the picture.
Compact mylar sheets. They insulate and protect against mild electromagnetic radiation.
Right, so shiny insulation and space blankets all over the walls and the ceiling. It was like being inside of a disco ball.
Do you know the point?
How did you know it would work?
What do you mean?
How did you know your provocation would work? Why'd you think a bunch of shiny plastic would make me say anything? Isn't it because you knew that it was precisely the thing that would worry me so much that I'd say anything to talk you down?
Exactly. He's right. He's right.
Ron, let's get back to your house. Every surface covered in tinfoil. Nothing crazy about that, huh?
As I've said, I was playing up my condition. Usually it's a perfectly normal house.
You think your house is normal? Can I call your attention to Exhibit 9?
The pictures?
This is your house, right?
Yes.
So, exposed wires.
A prophylactic measure for a physical medical condition.
Did the doctor who granted me guardianship for you think this was a physical condition?
Objection. You can't introduce a TEG as evidence. Besides which, the panel has already ruled that Mr. McGill's mental health is not at issue.
No, the state bar opened the door to this on direct when the witness talked about his supposed play acting. Allowing
That
me
is
to
true.
follow up on cross is only reasonable.
We discussed a physical allergy, not a mental disability.
Potato, it comes down to this. In order to understand what I was thinking, you need to see Chuck through my eyes. You need to know if I believe that tape was evidence. He claims that he lied to me to get me to tell the truth. And I'm telling you, I lied to my brother to make him feel better. Which of us you believe depends on how we all understand the mind of Charles McGill.
We did promise the defense some leeway. You may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
But watch yourself.
Continue the cooking. That's a big dub. That's a little dub, little
Go
dub.
back a little further. Talk about when these symptoms first started. It was shortly after you were divorced. Is that right?
What Jimmy's driving at is the last time I saw her, I covered up my illness. I've been suffering from it for some time, but I went to great lengths to conceal that fact from her. I'm sorry I deceived you, Rebecca. I didn't want you to think less of me.
Yo, imagine the court transcript of this and the recording. The whole series waiting to be written for itself. Oh, wait, we're watching it.
Now Jimmy has outed me in front of you. You know why? To rattle me. He knows I still have a
soft spot.
A lot of feeling for my ex-wife. He's hoping this will break me down. Split me apart at the seams like a murderer confessing on an episode of Perry Mason. Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you, Jimmy. Have I answered your questions to your satisfaction? Do you have anything else?
Yeah, I do.
I was like, did that backfire?
Earlier you talked about other diseases.
Oh, does he have
physical
something up his
conditions
sleeve
you
again?
said. Okay, if you'd had, I don't know, lung cancer, would you have told Rebecca then?
If that had been the case, maybe I might have.
So how is this different?
Lung cancer?
Move it along.
You don't have to answer that. I want to get down to brass tacks. I want to be very, very specific here. This illness, what does it feel like? You mentioned it's painful.
It is. There's a tightness in my chest, difficulty breathing, and pain. Burning pain. The pain spreads everywhere.
Sounds horrible. Does it hurt right now?
There's always some discomfort, yes.
He got healed to place an electronic device inside of him. He put Jimmy's phone or something, a phone, inside of Chuck so he can pull it out and say, do you have an electronic device on you?
Oh, shit! Oh, shit!
Yes. Electricity is everywhere in the modern world. Intensity drops off with distance, per the inverse square law.
Okay, whoa, inverse square, I'm not a physicist. Could you dumb that down a shade for me?
The farther away it is, the stronger the source needs to be to have an effect.
Got it. So if I had a small battery, say, from a watch or something, and I got it close to you, close to your skin, you'd know.
I would feel it, yes.
Can you feel more current coming from any particular direction right now? From that back wall? Or from over there? Or up through the floor? Can you tell us where the nearest source is right now?
Jimmy, do you have something in your pocket?
Yes, I do, as a matter of fact.
His phone.
My cell phone. From this distance, you should feel it, and you don't, do you?
Mr. McGill, you were warned to leave your electronics outside.
It's all right. It's all right. May I?
No battery inside?
Just as I thought. There's no battery in here. You removed the battery. That's a sorry little trick, isn't it?
Yeah, you got me, Chuck. Dead to rights. I removed the battery.
Objection. Sustained. You've taken all the leeway you're getting, Mr. McGill. Wrap it up fast.
God, Jimmy. Don't you know by now this is real? I feel this. It's a physical response to stimuli. It's not a quirk. What do I have to do to prove it to you?
I don't know, Chuck. Could you reach into your breast pocket and tell me what's there?
It's like a magic trick. The battery.
Can you tell the court what that was?
Battery.
Mr. Chairman,
Do you recognize that man in back? His name is Huel Babineau. He's on our witness list. You bumped into him in the stairway. He'll testify he planted this fully charged battery on you over an hour and a half ago.
Hour and 43 minutes.
An hour and 43 minutes. Thank you, Mr. Babineau. And you felt nothing.
No, it's a trick. It has
Enough
to.
is enough. I submit that Mr. McGill's mental illness is a non-issue. If he were schizophrenic, it wouldn't take away from the fact that the
I
defendant...
am not crazy!
It sucks to
I
see.
am not crazy.
It sucks to see family like this.
I know he swapped those numbers. I knew it was 1216. One after Magna Carta, as if I could ever make such a mistake. Never. Never. I just couldn't prove it. He covered his tracks. He got that idiot at the copy shop to lie for him.
Mr. McGill, please, you don't have to go
You think this is something? You think this is bad? This chicanery?
Oh,
He's done
chicanery.
worse. That's billboard. Are you telling me that a man just happens to fall like that? No, he orchestrated it. Jimmy, he defecated through a sunroof. And I saved him. And I shouldn't have. I took him into my own firm. What was I thinking? He'll never change. He'll never change. Ever since he was 9, always the same. Couldn't keep his hands out of the cash drawer. But not our Jimmy. Couldn't be precious Jimmy. Stealing them blind. And he gets to be a lawyer? What a sick joke.
That's all it comes down to,
I
Jimmy
should've
being a
stopped him when I
lawyer.
had the chance. And you have to stop him.
Checkmate. Kim was right about Rebecca hating his guts after this.
Do you have anything else?
No. Nothing further.
Is that how we're going to end the episode? It's funny how when things don't go his way, he begins to feel like the currents from a further distance away, or he tells himself mentally that it's affecting him, because clearly it is a mental illness. Now, that whole episode was, it's depressing to watch that kind of stuff, especially when it's family pitted against one another. And I remember from my own experience, I remember in one of our first year law subjects, they told us, okay, part of your criteria for your assessments for like one of the first weeks was you have to attend a case at the courts, and you have to pick a trial or pick a case and look at them online, pick a list and attend that courtroom at that specific date, time, and watch it for the day and then write on the experience. And listen, it was cool. It was actually a situation, the one I had to watch, where 2 policemen were called as witnesses, and it was about a guy breaking into a job site and things like that. Like, nothing was hurt. It was just a trespassing matter. And it was pretty interesting to see the whole cross-examination take place. The lawyer defending the individual who broke into this, or like allegedly broke into this place, was really, really good. He went ham on the cross-examination on the police officers, and he basically made them buckle. You saw the police officers buckle. It was actually pretty sick to see. I was like, damn, that's actually pretty bad. But this episode, we are aware of what Jimmy does, and it's by any means, like it's completely wrong, right? It's wrong what he does. Like what he did, it is a felony. It is a felony. But we just tend to root for the underdog in this story. But nobody. I feel like nobody is a good individual in this universe. Like nobody's like a good, like the best. Maybe Stacy and Kaylee, like innocence right there. But like nobody involved in all this shenanigans is a good individual, good person. Everyone has like a dark side to them, and Jimmy's unfortunately caught in this space where no matter how much he tries to be a good person, he will always cut corners to get there, and those corners he cuts are not necessarily the right corners to take. You can cut corners in life and be smart about, doing things a different way, and it works to a T, because work smarter, not harder sometimes. But those corners he decides to cut, are definitely the wrong corners. And yeah, we know he's guilty of this. But if in terms of like exonerating him and defending the case, right? And the methods he's implemented to sort of clear his name or like prove Chuck's mental illness or his ability that it is like to prove that it is mental. Obviously, he had Hugh Babineau on the witness list, which was pretty sick. But I'm not sure about if that evidence can be admitted or the legality of like planting something in Chuck. I'm not sure if that's allowed. If you're just planting something on one of the witnesses, like I'm not sure if that's allowed. I know Hugh's a witness to the case. That's fine. You got it in writing that he's a witness there, but like I'm not sure about the planting of the battery, if that can be admitted as like evidence. I'm not sure about that, but it's gonna be interesting to see how they go to sort of how they're gonna like rule on this case. And it's probably gonna be a matter where they're gonna talk about the family issues going on, and it's just a family disagreement, and he said it to make him. He said it, all those things to make him feel better, and he's not gonna get disbarment. Maybe a slap on the wrist, but definitely not disbarment. But it all goes back to even Howard and Charles resenting Jimmy becoming a lawyer. They were basically resenting the own grind he took behind their back to get admitted into the bar, and yeah, it all stems from there as well. But yeah, fantastic episode. Chicanery, I believe it was called. Unbelievable, and the camera work was absolutely fantastic as well. It wasn't extravagant. It was very simple but effective. Like there were points where you had some beautiful medium long shots where everyone was in frame, but there was only two subjects in focus, and then you had Jimmy and Kim and Howard in the background out of focus, but you could still kind of see their reactions, and everyone plays their part perfectly. And then when you had Charles at the end, or Chuck, doing his tirade, his rant, his monologue, the camera slowly begun to pull in to like reveal a medium shot, and then when everyone revealed it, because like obviously it pulled into like a medium close-up shot, and then he was the center point of that scene right there. Let him go off in one take as well. Then when it cut to everyone's reactions, the camera began to slowly pull out again, and zoom out, and then it just made the whole world bigger. Like it was all on him. It was all on him. He was the center of attention, and then he's like, okay, he felt small again. It was absolutely fantastic. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed my reaction to episode 5 of Better Call Saul season 3, baby. That was a banger. It's been your buddy Moses. Take care. God bless. Peace.